I mean, that's fine. I haven't said anything incriminating yet.
Which is true.
Nope.
Which is true, but
I can fix that for you if you want to.
No, because we're going live right now. It's just that level of professionalism that I like to have. It just went out the window this episode, apparently.
Well, I mean, if it, like major, there is yet time for you to hit the edit button on this before you upload it, if that's something that you really want to do.
I mean, you are absolutely correct. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Mark Summers, Major Linux, twitch.tv/Major Linux, and it's time once again for another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for October. Not October. Damn. Where the fuck did I go?
Apparently through time.
Gonna get back in time.
For Thursday, January 19th, 2023.
I want to say here as a little known fact, I'm like in my vinyl collecting efforts, I have collected the vinyl for that particular album, so it's sitting right there. That song is very fresh in my mind.
I listen to that song every time I mow the yard. So yeah. I have a mow playlist, and that's on there, upwards with Rocky IV and like You're the Best Around and all that stuff. So.
Maybe that's what I'm missing from like mowing the grass, or the reason why I don't is I don't have a playlist that makes me feel like I'm the best.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop you right there, Major.
Yes.
No, absolutely not.
What do you mean?
You cannot tell me that you are a whole black person in the United States of America. You don't have like cleaning and or working music. I know you do.
Working music, yes. Cleaning music, no. I mean, I just have a
playlist. Your preference, or
I have a playlist of music, or no, actually, I do have a playlist. I do have a playlist of songs that I know I want to listen to over and over, or in the event that I'm in an airplane and can't get access to the internet, I have a playlist. What I do use most of the time is like the little Google, like the little automated playlist things. You click a button and say, all right, here's our suggested music for you. I click that.
Okay.
But if I'm cleaning up here, I'm normally not listening to music. I probably have something on my Plex server that I'm watching. So it's been like, hey, it's like a podcast or they are either podcasts that were on YouTube or just like long form YouTube videos, like a Digital Foundry video or something. Ruin has noticed Osin has become just the top of his head. Interesting. But yes, let me go ahead and introduce the rest of the folks on this show. Of course, he's here with me every week, each and every week. Kev, it's your boy Kev in the building.
In the building.
Self-described old reliable. When Discord is down, they know exactly where to be. Sinziak is in the building.
Greetings and salutations, people of the internet.
Only allowing the forehead to be perceived. Or not even that. Just dipped further down. Well, this week we were going to sit there and start a new format. Ruin wants to know what's that? Also, the one time the change chat button doesn't work. Anywho, he says speak up for my old man ears.
Not people asking you to speak up for their old man ears. Please, Ruin.
Verge wants to know, where is Sin?
No one knows, honestly. I'm just kind of a disembodied voice, an energy, if you will, rather than a being.
This corporeal
Sin
being is not in.
Sin is wherever sass and sunflowers can be found, wherever you purchase tea and or Sprite. You know, that email that you were about to write today because someone got on your last nerve, that was also me.
Wait, are you ChatGPT?
No. God, no.
Okay, so I was about to say that we're trying a new format. Surprisingly, mainly because we want to try to get to the news because there tends to be a lot of it. This week, not so much. But Sin just did something, and I'm kind of curious. Sin, what is your aversion with ChatGPT? It seems like you're having a moment.
I am having a moment, but that's out of scope for this episode, so that's fine.
Is it? It sounds like tech to me.
I mean, maybe, but it's not on our. It's something. When we get to an episode where we have like a chat about Chat GPT, I believe, then we will have a admittedly brief discussion about it.
There's a topic in here where we're talking about AI art.
Okay, we'll get to something. If that comes up, I will just go, here are my general thoughts on AI things.
Well, all right, yeah, so we're trying to hurry up and get to the news, so let's get to it. Of course, this week we've got not necessarily hacks. AI is getting sued. Of course, Twitter. Need I say more? And some very, very lofty gaming requirements. Yeah, let's dive into these tech stories as soon as I can get vMix up and running. Starting with 35,000 PayPal accounts were hacked, and users could have prevented it. What was that, Sin?
I feel like this is where we say, did you two-factor your stuff?
I'm gonna say no.
No, this is just a general reminder for the audience. I'm not asking you specifically.
Yes, please. If you haven't already, two-factor yourself, because that also could have helped you in not getting hacked if you were one of the 35,000 people. Kuga just said they just got unbanned on Twitter. Appreciate it, Musk. Just in time for you to not use third-party apps. Excuse me. Let's see, another day, another major security breach. Following in the footsteps of Twitter and Experian on Thursday, PayPal began notifying nearly 35,000 users that their accounts were breached between December 6th and 8th. What's the difference here? What's different here is the method attackers used to crack the accounts. PayPal itself wasn't hacked. Instead, the baddies used an attack known as credential stuffing, leveraging previously leaked login information that people reused for their PayPal accounts. This right here. Reason number one, we tell you to use a fucking password manager.
Now, I don't necessarily do that, but you should absolutely use one.
Use a password manager. Generate new passwords for every account you have. Do not use the same password twice. Stop that. Also, two-factor authentication. In the event that you do, at least you have a second factor that, the hackers or the little script kiddies or whoever, they don't have that. Even if they got your password, they ain't got the shit to get in there because that's on your phone. So I can't feel sorry for dumb fucks who don't change who don't have different passwords for different accounts. no sympathy at all.
Yes, sympathy. The hallmark of Tech Talk Thursday broadcast.
Another of my PayPal hacker's gonna be mad. Well, I mean, as long as there's no credit card information for them to charge things, yeah, you're right. A wild scent appears.
I appreciate the accuracy of that sound effect.
Look, I may not have played a Pokemon game in God knows how long, but I know how it sounds.
Do 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 do.
But yeah. Sorry, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Just stop. Just don't do it.
KeyPass is free. Use that.
Bidwarden is free. Hell, I think even LastPass is still free. Wouldn't recommend it,
Would recommend it.
but it's free.
It's free.
Well, I mean, if you have things that you recommend, I mean, just let the people know.
Well, we did.
Google
KeyPass, Bidwarden.
Google
Well, I mean,
has password managers as well as Apple does.
Yep. Built into the OS. I mean, well, Apple's
Firefox does
yes,
the same thing.
but yes, Firefox, Chrome built into the browsers. I do use Bitwarden. Well, Bitwarden is free. I do have the paid version, so that way I can seek it. But well, yeah, I think so. I can sync it between all my devices.
Yeah.
Unless I bought the family plan, so that way my wife can also benefit from those features. Also, if I so choose, I could self-host. But luckily, I've not had the need to do that. But yeah, I use like anywhere between Bitwardens, Google Chromes, Apples. Okay, wait, then why am I paying for Bitwarden? What is the reason why I'm paying for Bitwarden? I mean, other than, supporting a developer. Also, Red Hat uses Bitwarden. Yeah, okay. You know what? I don't know why I'm paying for Bitwarden. Or am I? I don't know. I should check. Maybe I did it for the family. I don't know. But I mean, yeah, even Bitwarden's free option, you can it's free between, you have unlimited devices. Like there really isn't a reason to buy it, but again, I would support it. Like for me, I am a person who's like, I would rather support a developer, especially if they keep my shit safe. So but yeah, again, could have been avoided. Password managers, it's great, it's fantastic. But also, I don't know, two-factor authentication. It's also, free. Google Authenticator is really all you need. Even though if you have an iPhone, Apple has it built into the iPhone now, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, Google,
like QR code two-factor things?
Yep. But yeah, just do it. This is ridiculous. NVIDIA Broadcast. For those who don't know, NVIDIA Broadcast is a software that NVIDIA puts out that leverages the power of your RTX graphic card to do cool things with AI when it comes to content creation.
For example, this blurred background brought to you by that very tool.
Active noise suppression, where Any background noises can be filtered out through AI. However, their latest thing is really, really fucking creepy. Apparently the newest technology allows you to keep focus on your camera no matter where you're looking. And it's weird as shit, man. It's really weird. NVIDIA may have a solution if you're ever caught yourself reading chat during a live stream or distracted by your notes during a video presentation. The company has updated its broadcast software with a beta eye contact feature that, like Apple's FaceTime, fixes your gaze to keep it focused on your camera. It preserves your blinks and eye color and will even transition between digital and real eyes when you look far enough off center. So Kuga, it's like that, but in reverse. Where it's so much like not the eyes following you, it's the fact that the eyes are staying still. Like my eyes would continue to look forward even though I turn to look this way or this way, and it does what it does as advertised, and it even with this guy, it works even with glasses, but it is really fucking weird. Like as you turn a certain way, it looks really fucking fake. And then it's funny, like you turn just enough, you can see the eyes like pop back into place. It's like, yep, that's not where the eyes are supposed to be. So in response to Apple's 2FA, I can't trust my codes to a company that can and will arbitrarily ban you from your account. Makes sense. And yet again, stop. Let me see that. I want to see that. It won't let me do it. Imagine losing access to your movies, books, apps, passwords, and codes in one event. Yeah, that ain't great. That ain't great. Listen, maybe it's more for reading. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Like it's more or less like to, keep you connected with your audience while you're looking off screen. But even it just looks weird. Like maybe it's better off that you don't see that your eyes are doing that, because maybe it's believable to people who don't know you're looking somewhere else. But for me, it's like I kind of had my camera on my monitor over here. That way I can kind of just like keep an eye on where my eyes were, even though I wasn't looking at the camera, and it looked really creepy because I knew what I was doing. But yeah, maybe for people who don't know that you're not looking at the camera, it may play better than it does for the person who knows what the fuck is going on. I would be interested to hear like people who actually are using that tech. For me, I don't know. I don't like it. I tried it and it's like, yeah, I'm never going to use this. Mainly because of the fact that when I am looking away, I want people to know I am not looking at the camera. Also, the way my camera is set up, especially for personal streams, where I'm sitting like this looking at my main monitor here, I'm not looking at the camera, so that would never work for me anyway. Ooh, that would be the example. Like I am so sorry for the things that I said to offend those people in that place. As you can see by me making eye contact with the camera,
is going to get some mileage.
It might. I am so sorry for my words and deeds. I feel ashamed. AI art tool Stable Diffusion and Midjourney are targeted with copyright lawsuit.
Wait, I think I know they put those two in the title just because they're AI art tools, but I feel it is important to mention that DeviantArt is in this lawsuit, and I am cackling about it.
Okay, so it's not DeviantArt who's making. So I thought it was DeviantArt who was making the lawsuit or who was suing them, but DeviantArt is thrown into it because they also created one.
Yep, they were also in there, and there was a whole like fallout too of them being like, "Hey, we're going to be feeding the art on this website to AI. So if you want to opt out, so if you don't want to do that, you need to do all of this to opt out of it instead of asking people if that was something that they wanted to do." So, if I was reading that article correctly, then yeah, I am personally very pleased, tickled, if you will, by this turn of events.
Excuse me. The artists Sarah Anderson, Kelly McKernan, and Carla Ortiz, alleged that these organizations
have infringed. It did.
What?
Yep, it was the thing that I thought it was. DeviantArt is in here. Also, like there was a kerfuffle for that, but you're also correct. They built their own AI art generating tool and used for people who don't know what DeviantArt is, right? It was one of the largest, for a time, it was the main platform for artists, and it was a platform that has 20 years, maybe more, of people's art, drawings, photography, all sorts of stuff on there, and people just said we're about to feed it to this AI machine. It just did that at random. So seeing them in this lawsuit just brings joy to the innermost parts of my heart.
And that's why I thought that DeviantArt was the one suing them, because that would seem like a place where a lot of this AI art looked like shit that belonged in DeviantArt. So I'm like, okay, I can see DeviantArt doing that lawsuit. But oh wait, no, that's right, DeviantArt did also make theirs too. Fuck. Okay. So the artists listed earlier allege that these organizations have infringed the rights of millions of artists by training their AI tools on 5 billion images scraped from the web without the consent of the original artists. It's from Butterick. Okay, I'm sorry. Actually, let's read the whole damn thing. The lawsuit has been filed by lawyer and typographer Matthew Butterick, along with the Joseph Savary law firm, which specializes in antitrust and class action cases. Butterick and Savary are currently suing Microsoft, GitHub, and OpenAI in a similar case involving the AI programming model Copilot, which is trained on lines of code collected from the web. Also, and I don't, because I think this article came out before the news broke, but I think Getty is also suing Stable Diffusion.
It's just music to my ears. It's such a pleasurable experience to hear these things.
Yep, there it is. Of course, from CNN, a source I would very rarely use. Getty Images announced a lawsuit against Stability AI, the company behind popular AI art tool Stable Diffusion, alleging the tech company committed copyright infringement. So yeah, art is that. Just imagery, art, video, that's something you just don't want to play with, especially when if we can't even use it just for fair use as content creators, this one gonna go well. I always thought AR was weird. Yeah, it's honestly because it's to me, people using AR art is almost like finally seeing the nightmare fuel that exists in people's heads. And I don't care to see it. Like me with my different brain cannot handle some of the images people think of, type into a prompt, it creates, and then they post. It's like,
and
this
keep in
does
mind,
not work for me just on a logic standpoint. Go away.
I mean, please keep in mind as we're talking about this, that things that currently exist are someone took and decided to make a realistic rendering of what Pokemon would look like if they were existent animals on the planet. So, like, if that bends your brain at all, then like this is obviously going to be a terrible time.
Like, that's one thing. I mean, because yeah, that's one thing, and I think my brain has handled that enough because I've seen actual artists create that, along with like realistic Mario or realistic Homer Simpson, which is enough of a fuckery. But I think what really fucked me up with a lot of this shit is the art shit that Google was doing. Like, oh, damn, what the fuck was it? It was a deep mine. I forgot what it was. It's like where they train an AI model to, do something, and they told it, hey, make this other thing, and it was like nightmare fuel in and of itself. And it was like, no, thank you. Like, I think it was like they had a dog and it was made out of spaghetti, and it was just fucking weird. And now that I think about it, it's, yeah, okay, I'm done. But did you have more general thoughts about AI? You said you would come back to it. I know we were talking about ChatGPT earlier.
I have feelings about that because ChatGPT is like AI art in general. And ChatGPT kind of falls under the same umbrella of being very charitable about it. It could be a really neat tool to have or to look into or try to use, but the way that, generally speaking, our ethics are set up around these things is going to be a hot mess, because someone has, like, things that people have already tried with ChatGPT for funsies, was things like trying to use this to see if it could emulate the speech and knowledge of historical figures. ChatGPT, funny, like fun for doing things like pre-formatted emails, or things like that. Not so much for doing things like, let's use this to teach history in class, when we already know that AI in general, and the people who like that, the AI and stuff that has come out in the last 20 years, let's say, have certain biases when it comes to information. So I'm on the outer edge of comfortable with that. Y'all can keep me posted on how that one goes. The thing about AI art is, like, you have, if the way that we treated people were better, if we wanted to make sure that people were able to opt into things and that they were compensated for their work being used in some way, shape, or form, then maybe. But none of those things have happened. So yeah, there's that, especially considering that there is a very popular fun fact. My first exposure to AI wasn't even AI art tools. You want to know what it was? It was finding out that there is a whole model that people use in print that is a dark-skinned woman, or like a dark-skinned like femme, who is not an actual person.
I mean, care to elaborate? I mean, yeah.
Have you not heard about this model? Because you're gonna have fun with this. What is her name? Like Shadu, I think. Shudu, that's what it is.
So I guess why looking that up and sharing that information, for me, it's I'm more on the open source side of things, to where I feel like if they were using public, like one, if it was opt in as opposed to opt out, or like, hey, we're just gonna grab fucking everything. That especially means like images. Like if they went and found like public domain images to use, great. Because they were just out there. Anybody can use it for anything. If they were open, like if they were like licensed to open source, great. It's whatever. Text becomes a different thing, mainly because like, I mean, I know you can copyright copy. For me, it's a thing where I am like when I use ChatGPT, it's a thing where I'm using information that was on the internet that is in a public forum, in a public space, for everybody to see anyway, for it to be able to parse and give me information on. Like when I had, so it's no secret that I jailbroke my Switch a couple of weeks ago, about 2 or 3 weeks ago. However, when I tried to play an actual game on my Switch was like, yeah, no, dog, we can't do anything. This game will not launch. Sucks to be you. So just out of curiosity, I asked ChatGPT, hey, how can I reset my, how can I restore my Switch from a jailbreak? It gave me the instructions to do so. I then asked, where did you get the information? It said, yeah, it was on Nintendo's website. You can go look it yourself if you want.
And things like that, I would have like no problem with. If it were just something like, this is a more interactive version of Google, I can like write it, you know, in that part, it wouldn't be much different, right, than using like Siri to ask the same kind of question.
Yeah.
Or Cortana.
Which,
so,
by the way,
like,
somebody did implement ChatGPT into Siri to make it better.
Like that sort of thing, perfectly fine with. But like when they start talking about we should use ChatGPT to do things that normally require years of years of reading, study, and most importantly, being able to contextualize information for the people that you're talking to, the moment that you're in, rather than just it's like jailbreaking a Switch works the same way just about every time. Talking about African American literature, on the other hand, not so much.
Yeah, this seems weird. Wow.
Also,
wow, this is a website in which you cannot highlight anything. What the? You can't. Oh, wait, hold on. Is it just because I haven't accepted cookies?
Is it because? No, I don't think it's because you haven't accepted cookies.
Oh, no.
It would be weird if it were.
Wow.
Yeah, they probably just like put in something to disable like right clicks or copy and paste.
What the fuck?
But you want to know what? F12 is right there for you at all times.
This is weird. Who does this? But like, I wanted to highlight just the name of the photographer. Like, that's fucked up. Yeah, nah, dog, nah.
Wait, what's happening here?
I looked up the photographer who created this this e-model.
Oh, yeah.
Nah, dog, nah. That's not how.
Yeah,
no.
like you see how like this sort of thing is like,
one thing is not like the other. Nope. 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 Like that's not even AI problem. That's not even AI. That's like a just fuck no. No, sir.
So once again, so this is where I would like to reiterate for everyone. When I tell you that I don't think our ethics and the way that we treat people is at a point that it's safe to have these wider applications of AI like this, I mean things like this. Because of course you decided to be like, I would like to have an African model, which you could have hired because they literally exist in the world, but you decided to make this digital person instead. Why didn't you just decide to like make a Viking aesthetic or something that would have been closer to like wherever you happen to live?
And that's why I went to check. Because had it been Africans or somebody just black who did that,
I would have
it would have been
different. It would have been
right.
It would have been different.
Yeah, like that was my whole thing. That's why I looked it up. And it's like, now that I saw who it was, like, yeah, no. Nope. I said, this ain't the wave, my guy. No, baby, no. And see, this is, and we were having a discussion about this at work. I say at work like I went somewhere. But just in the public chat spaces we have at work. And this is actually interesting enough, it was in the neurodiversity and mental health Google chat that I'm in. And somebody was saying that, hey, like I use Chat GPT to formulate, emails or like to kind of offload some of the social stuff, like the stuff I have anxiety about when talking to people. Like, hey, like I need to send an email to somebody. I don't know how to write it. So I asked ChatGPT to kind of construct an email for me to kind of convey the message that I'm struggling to write. And it's like, for me, like I looked at this, that seemed like that's taking off some of the labor. It's taking off some of the labor that you have to put into that's stressing you out, that's causing that anxiety to be able to, actually function at work. And it's like, I would do that too. I would have done that too if I sent email that much. Technically, when I'm having to respond to people in tickets, I wish I would think to use Chat GPT to send responses to tickets. Because I know for me, especially dealing with some dumb folks at work, and I'm not sure if y'all caught that toot on Mastodon earlier today when I asked somebody, hey, what's wrong with your computer? When they tell me, say, hey, my computer's broken, I called the ISP. They won't reboot it. I told them to send me an image. You know what? Fuck it. Where is it? I posted that somewhere. Scroll down here a little bit. Through all my days of posting and reposting things. Oh, there it is. There it is. Like, hey, I heard you were good with computers. My computer isn't working. The signal I'm getting on the screen says to check the computer cable. I called the ISP. They rebooted it, but they won't come out to fix it. Can you fix it? Ask them, hey, can you send me a picture of what you're seeing on your screen? They sent me a screen that says that their monitor is disconnected from their fucking computer.
Yep.
Now, this is kind of some of the shit I gotta deal with at work. This is actually somebody who got my number from a church directory.
Yeah,
there's that.
That'll do it. Yeah.
Now, at work, I deal with similar things like this, like just dumb thing. Like, look, I tell you one thing, and you keep coming back to me with just dumb shit. I would use ChatGPT in those situations because I know my actual response is, "Oh my God, you dumb motherfucker! This is not what we do. It is against policy. Stop fucking emailing me."
Mm-hmm.
But no, I feel like ChatGPT will not use those words. It will give them something nice, polite, cordial, and we can keep it fucking moving.
Right.
Well, like,
you could be like, hey, nice thing.
I guess that depends on kind of the department that you're into, right? If you're dealing with a thing like support where it's kind of like, hey, I see that you've asked a question here, like, here are things that you can read. Here's information that I need from you, that sort of thing, that you just have to say like 500 times, then sure. There are some things that even if you're dealing, well, depending on like stuff, even if you're dealing with anxiety, if you have stuff that it takes a person to really think through before talking, you're still gonna have to do that. But that's neither here nor there.
In a way, I kind of disagree. I mean, because it's a thing like, sure, you may be able to effectively communicate. Some folks who have depending on like where they are on the spectrum of neurodivergency, it can actually be a very crippling thing for them to do. Where it's like the mere thought of having to write that email does cause that anxiety, because you're sitting there trying to think of the words to formulate that don't sound like this, but if I say it like this, it's going to do this, or it might do. It's that level of draining to people, where if you just offloaded that task to someone or something else, that helps, and just even that little bit does help. It's things like it's not a question. It's not.
So what happens when someone asks you about the words that were said?
Then hey, it is what it is. Like I'm gonna be upfront and honest with you. It's not dumb if it helps you.
Right. You just read. It's like sometimes you just reiterate what you did, and
I'm sorry, like because I feel like to me, I feel like saying that you can't use. About it? Yeah, I feel like to convey a message that you cannot use a tool to help you effectively communicate in a space that is not built for you mentally. It sounds ableist to me in a way, because like if I can't do this, if this is keeping me from doing my job, and I need to use a tool, whatever it is that helps me effectively communicate it, and now you're going to sit there and come at me saying, well, because you personally didn't write this, I can't accept it because it's an email. Like that to me, that seems very ableist. Because that's like saying I can't use the tools to best do my job because you don't like AI. So like I can't in all conscience sit there and say that like I would dissuade people from using an AI or some type of assistive tool to provide like, help me make words good. Mm-hmm. Because I mean, if we want to keep it a buck, let's go to Gmail right now. Where is it? Compose. Oh no. Gmail right now, after just typing per my last, it filled in the T for last and then email. That's AI in Gmail. So to say that I can't use ChatGPT to write an email based off of things I want to say, and knowing that there is a program that can help me wordsmith that correctly to effectively communicate my point where I couldn't do that for one reason or another, it's no different than using predictive text in Gmail. It's no different than using spell check in anything. So I hope somebody would ask me where I got it from. I've already introduced using ChatGPT for work when it comes to, like I mentioned last week, to sit there and write better code. Like if I have a question about, hey, I'm getting this error when I run this command, what can I do to mitigate it? And instead of me going through God knows how many articles on Google to get the answer, ChatGPT provides me the answer and an explanation. My boss already knows. My managers already know. My coworkers already know. Yeah, I've used ChatGPT to figure this fucking shit out. I don't have time to sit through Python documentation and try to figure out how to print something to a screen. Just give me the fucking code, explain how it works to me, explain it like I'm 5, and we can keep it moving. Without me having to sit there and spend time trying to do a whole bunch of research when like all I want to do is just know how to print the number 5 to a screen. Right. So yeah, like I hope somebody comes up to me and says, so how did you write this email? Where did these words come from? I can see if I was writing a paper for a history class, but that's not what I was doing.
Okay.
Actually, I wanted this. I did want what was in this cup. But yeah, like AI, it's a slippery. I will admit, like AI is definitely a slippery slope, especially when it comes to the models that they're using, like the models that they're generating, how they're using to train the AI, and also who is developing it. As I also mentioned in that chat, the neurodivergent chat, I'm so interested in it. I still want to learn what this technology is. That way, when talking to people about it, like making sure, like one, they understand what's going on, and that way, you know, I can easily talk to folks who are coming into the space, who are trying to make the space a little bit more diverse. Because it's one thing is like, oh no, they treat us bad, we don't use it, and then none of us use it because it's like, what was it? The monkey and the monkeys in the ladder trying to get the banana. And every time a monkey climbed up on the ladder to get the banana, it always, like, they got rained on, they got sprayed with water. To where, like, after 20 days, they introduced a new monkey who had never been sprayed with water, saw the ladder, saw the banana, and he tried to climb that ladder, and all the other monkeys in that cage spot jumped and beat his ass because they knew what was going to happen if he did it. It's that whole thing, like, I'm not going to be that person who's like, no, we never use this. And like, well, why don't we use this? Like, you don't want to know. Nobody ever explains it. We don't know why we don't use it. We just don't use it. Okay. Now calm down for a second. All right, Apple is collecting feedback from dispatchers receiving false 911 calls from skiers. As we reported last week, a lot of first responders were asking folks to disable the crash detection and I think it was the crash detection features of the Apple Watch and the iPhone because there were a whole bunch of false alerts being made to dispatchers when skiers were going down mountains. So it's kind of weird that now, almost not 6 months. How long has it been? 3-4 months? Since the features were announced, the phones and the Apple Watches have been released. The Apple is now collecting feedback for this specific feature, as if like they didn't have the time to do this before. Like I'm not entirely sure like did they not think of all of the possibilities in which this might be a thing, or just maybe out of scope a little bit? I mean, I guess like, well, if you're thinking about skiing, like I'm wondering what would cause that. I mean, roller coasters, I would get it because of the sudden rise, falling, and stopping of things, but why skiing would trigger it? But I don't know. Samsung expands its self-repair program to include S22 and Galaxy Book devices with a collaboration with iFixit. So now, hey, if you have those new Samsung devices, like I do, you can fix it yourself. Submerge says here, we've had 2 or 3 high-profile stories where this feature actually saved lives. It's a shame they didn't do more research before releasing it. Yeah, it seems weird. Yeah, going back to the Apple story here. Damn it. I have to remember I'm using multiple monitors here. Yeah, it's odd. It's odd that they did not do more of it, but I'm guessing too, like, maybe they didn't understand the physics. Well, I don't know. Why would you hire the best of the best if they didn't figure that out? I don't know. It's really weird. Like, I understand what roller coasters, but again, like, I don't know why this is happening with sorry, I'm on the West Coast delay. No, you good. Like it's I'm not entirely sure like why the crash detection would really trigger with skiers and snowboarders. I mean, unless it's like going really, really fast and then suddenly stopping. But then again, like, it's not like they're going any faster than a car would that would suddenly stop, or at least I don't, well, okay, never mind. Skiing speeds of professional athletes can reach upwards of 150 miles per hour, but most recreational skiers travel at speeds between 10 and 20 miles per hour. Downhill racers clock 40 to 60, and Olympians tend to ski between 75 and 95. Okay, you know what? No, I can see it. I guess if you are going that fast and all of a sudden you stop, and maybe powdered snow sounds like a crash when you stop, like this is that whole like crunching noise. I don't know. I don't ski. I don't get it. If somebody here skis, maybe they can explain it. But yeah. And going back to Samsung, yeah. So if you have one of the latest and greatest Samsung Galaxy S22 devices, the Galaxy Book, you can now fix your phones at home. And also, it does not require very, very expensive repair kits to be shipped to your house with a hold on your credit card. You can just order the things from iFixit and they'll send it to you, and then you can fix it. In this week's most popular news, so I saw the tides of this rising over the weekend, and ultimately it really, like, I guess it came down. Twitter admits it's breaking third-party apps, citing a long-standing API rule, or cites long-standing API rules, which at the time of the writing of this article, they never told anybody what the rules were. What did these developers, what rule did these developers break? Nobody knew. But Muskie must say, we will cut off the access because they're breaking the rules. Then, almost as if nobody would notice, they updated the rules today, which whole cloth banned every third-party client in existence.
Old Musk. Old Musk. With your musky ass. Mm.
The quote restrictions section of Twitter's development agreement was updated Thursday with a clause banning quote the use or banning quote use or access the licensed materials to create or attempt to create a substitute or similar service or product to the Twitter applications, end quote. The company suggested that the rule was, quote, long-standing, doesn't line up with its history. Twitter clients have long been a part of Twitter. Twitterific, one of the most prominent apps affected by the API shutoff last week, was created before Twitter had a native iOS app of its own and is credited with coining the word tweet, as well as other features now commonly associated with Twitter's app. In recent years, clients like Tweetbot and Phoenix have had devoted followers due to a lack of ads and other features many longtime users dislike. In fact, Twitter previously changed its developer policies in 2021 to remove a section that discouraged, but didn't prohibit, app makers from replicating its core service. The change was part of a broader shift by Twitter to improve its relationship with developers, including the makers of third-party clients. And of course, some of those folks have found their way to other platforms that have very open API rules. And I cannot wait for all those developers to make some amazing world-class applications for the Fediverse. Finally. I mean, not to say that there aren't good Mastodon or Fediverse apps right now, but imagine what Tweetbot, and it's a Tweetbot app, will look like. A Phoenix app will look like on Mastodon. Twitterific. Oh my goodness. It's gonna be great. Thanks, Musk. And if things aren't this doesn't look bad for Twitter already. Twitter starts auctioning off assets from its San Francisco headquarters. You know, the place that they're not paying rent on? I guess maybe he's having a yard sale. Everything must go because we about to get evicted.
With that.
So
it's that we've changed the locks and they're selling to recoup the rent.
I will just go ahead and issue a reminder real quick that one of the big things that Elon came onto the scene with was that everybody had to be present in present in an office in places that could have one. This place was included. And then there were several articles we're trying to repurpose the office building into a living quarters so that people could live here around the clock to do work instead of, having any kind of separation between work and home. And then after all of that, defaulted on these building costs so much, the buildings that he demanded people be in or be fired, mind you, while signing away several severance packages to even read the email that says, hey, do you agree to this or not? After doing all of that, this happens.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if they're going to auction off the sink.
I mean, there's a stove here.
They're auctioning off everything else in the kitchen. I don't see why not.
Yeah. I'm talking about
the sink he walked in with.
Yep. It's like
Oh,
Like,
I just let that
that
sink in.
alone.
I just let
Yeah.
that sink in.
Because that, that's going up for sale too.
Verge says he thinks that Engadget Jack, they're not.
Damn. I would love if it did.
Oh man, can I get? So I think the auction already happened, or because I think I saw an article saying like something that sold for $100,000, but yeah, this auction did not help. But who's buying this rotisserie thing? Like, really? Well, I guess a restaurant could buy it. Mm-hmm.
That's fucking crazy. I know somewhere like Jack Dempsey is like shaking his head and laughing his ass off at the same time. Like, good to be me though.
But isn't he actively helping Musk? After also
That's why
taking the blame for, the layoffs?
That's why he's laughing. That's why he's laughing his ass off. Because again, either way, everybody's like, oh, he's taking the blame for it. But yet, who's really blaming him? Who's getting the blame right now? Musk. So my man could literally say, I did it. I'm the problem. And everybody's going to be like, no, Jack. He's the problem.
They're looking to, oh, boo-boo, you are such the fool. You know this ain't your fault. Oh, my goodness. My guy.
That part. So again, he can literally, I'm Spartacus, and nobody cares. Nobody cares. Because why? It's all Musk. It is Musk all day, every day, musking it up.
Jack comes over and says, it was me, Dio. What? Shut up, man.
Huh? Shut up. It's Musk's fault.
But it was me, Dio.
Mm-hmm. It's like the fanboy. Am I
using that reference correctly, by the way?
We'll go with it.
All right, cool.
There are not enough JoJo fans in the chat, so
nobody's noticing that I'm using it wrong.
Yeah, it's like the little bit that I've seen of JoJo, I would be like, no, but it's all good.
What is? Yeah, if anybody does know what that actually, like the correct way to use that, I would want to know, because now it's like I don't want to use it for being wrong.
In which that occurs, right? This person comes in. The person Dio is has a really strong streak of particular petty hatred toward a person just because this person had a better life than they did, and that's
Lily punched the man's dog.
Them, they walk up to each other on the street, and he literally punches this man's dog, and then says, "And fight me about it," right then and there.
Dang.
So whenever he says, "It's me, Dio." It's not like, whoops, I did something wrong. It's the energy of, I did what I did, or I said what I said, fight me. Oh, you didn't know who was responsible for that. Well, let me let you know it was me.
Oh, then I am using it correctly. It was me.
Yes.
I am trying to let people know, yes, I did that thing. It was me.
Yeah.
Surprise.
It is literally you saying you thought I you thought that person did your car, but it was me, Dio. And it's like, yeah. And so
great. I was using it correctly.
and it's literally like the quit, it was me. It's like as if Dio did the thing, and it was like, it is me, Dio. And Jonathan Joestar just says, nah, it had to been somebody. It's got to be that person. so yeah,
it is me, Dio, actively doing this. No, dog, I don't see what you're doing.
Very, very particularly because he wants, he specifically has picked this one person, and is just like, every time something miserable happens, every time something bad happens to you, if you ever have a bad day, if a dent happens to your car, if a bird poops on your window, if your deliveries get stolen, if your Amazon mail gets rerouted, I want you to know I was behind each and every bit of that shit. Fighting.
Right. I sprung. Yeah. It's like I was responsible for all of that. And Jack could easily do that and it would not even matter. Because it's like it was literally Musk. It was Musk. We think it's Musk. It's like Musk is literally, if you've ever seen a pup named Scooby-Doo, where there was a character called Red Herring.
Yep.
But it's like, and Fred would always say like, it is Red Herring, except for the fact that Red Herring did all of it.
The one episode like, he'd be right and still nobody believes him.
And so nobody believed him. And then it was like, oh, I knew it. Yeah. So yeah, it's literally like my man is like I am the problem. And then it's like, no, you're not. It's this man. And we all say it's Musk. Because again, Musk is the only one who bought the company. Jack is like, I mean, I got nothing better to do. I might as well help him. And then it's like, but everything is Musk's fault. Because everything is Musk's fault.
He is the physical embodiment of capitalism.
He is the problem. And he is the root cause of it. He is both capitalism and a capitalist all in one.
So like an anti-hero. Elon Musk is the capitalist.
He's not even really anti-hero because he has to actually be heroic.
I mean, he is the villain.
He is the villain. He's not even an antagonist. Because at least antagonists would at least have a reasoning for doing what they do. They would have clear, precise moments.
He is a 1960s like first Bond movie villain.
Right.
Okay, ruin. Whoa. No, not a JoJo fan.
Ruin is a JoJo fan.
Oh, okay. Wait. Also, Major as a JoJo. Okay, sorry. I thought he was referencing me as a JoJo fan, like Major as a JoJo fan. Okay, cool.
I'm the problem. It's me. Yeah, it's that. Yeah. Demonetization.
Oh, I realized that the audio is not playing here.
Correct.
Yep.
That was cute.
Right.
Little doggy.
Yeah. Little puppy. But yeah, it's yeah, that's exactly it.
So I'm not a JoJo fan. Not that I don't want to be. It's just that look, before people come at me like, yo, with all the JoJo, it's like, look, I don't know. It's just I just know that one thing. It is me deal because it just sounds so
right
theatrical.
Right. And it is. That's what we love about Dio. Well, it's very theatrical.
Well, like part of the theatrics is like when I say like it is the equivalent of someone setting your entire house on fire and walking out of it in a flaming red suit with a top hat and a cane, like as your house is just burning in the background.
Holding a match and
then
holding a match and holding a box of matches and some lighter fluid.
And going, welcome home, Major. I kept it warm for you. Enjoy before leaving, because the other thing about this is there's a whole arc of this where like straight up Jonathan Joestar was just straight up not about to whoop Dio's ass about anything. So Dio was just like, not only will I do it, I will then fight you about it and you will lose and I will leave you here, but I won't end you because I want to come back and do this shit again tomorrow.
Yes.
I've seen the show. I was like, I should really kind of watch because it has some style to it. And like I see the things references like, I think I would enjoy this just because it looks like it'd be funny. It looks like it'd be like a really, really funny show to watch. But I've never really sat around to find out where it is streaming. You see me outside of Crunchyroll. Because I imagine every anime in existence is on Crunchyroll. And I don't want to subscribe to a new service.
Surprisingly, no. But a lot of them are.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I'm not taking my want to consume this media into the next phase of the Trello board that is my life to say, look for where I can find it.
Right.
It's more or less like I see the memes, I reference the memes. I should watch this. Eventually, I'll move that card to the next section. My agile board, my life agile board is not great. There's a lot of things like in my backlog that eventually I'll move them up into the sprint. That is my life. But
it was like, for me, it was like watching Hunter x Hunter and then being like, oh, I seen all the memes from like the last 10 years, and I was like, oh, I understand that reference. Oh, I understand that reference. Oh, I understand that reference. It's like, so it was me like experiencing like, why is this one man burying this other man? Oh, I see exactly what happened in that thing. I understand that reference. It's like, why is this child fighting this clown? Oh, I know that reference. I know why. So yeah. So I get you. I get you though. Like, why is this monster holding a gun? Oh, I know that reference.
Boss fight time, fighting a sword saint with a spear. That just sounds like something out of fucking Dark Souls.
That sounds like Saint Seiya. Pegasus Ryosuken.
Moving on from Twitter fuck ups to Microsoft fuck ups. Well, this one isn't too bad, but still, I don't know how I feel about this one. Microsoft will stop selling Windows 10 licenses at the end of the month. Now, the bad thing would be Microsoft will remove the Windows 10 ISO from every website in existence at the end of the month. Because as long as the Windows 10 ISO exists, you have Windows 10. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Do I need to change the background? No, because I will never see it. As long as I put the damn thing in dark mode, which I don't know, can you, with an unactivated version of Windows 10, can you still put it in dark mode? Because that's the only thing I would want to do.
That's fun. That's funny to me because I would expect, because like, didn't 11 come out last year?
Yeah.
So I'd be like, at least, at least 2 more years,
Well, it's not that they're not supporting it; they're just not selling it anymore.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're not selling them. Like, that's weird.
So I mean, then that begs the question too. Like, when did they stop selling Windows 7?
Like, you have to also make sure, like,
probably ask ChatGPT as well. Oh,
yeah.
Okay, so
when was end of life?
All right, so let's Windows 7. Well, end of life was recently, I imagine, but extended support was mainstream support ended on January 13th, 2015. Extended support ended on January 14th, 2020. They stopped selling it. They stopped selling retail copies on October 2014. So a year after support or mainstream support ended.
Mm-hmm.
So, but also that begs, I think what I wanted to look up was when was Windows 10 released?
Had to been around.
July 29th, 2015.
Yeah.
So, okay, well, then never mind, because that's a gap of 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, no, a year. It was a gap of a year, or not even a year, because Windows 10 came out in July 29th, 2015. Windows 7 stopped being sold on October 2014. So, actually, yeah, like that's a gap. So I guess the question is Windows 8.
Mm-hmm.
I figured we'd ignore Windows 8, so we wouldn't talk about that. So 3 years. So they were selling, well, no, 2. They were selling Windows 7 for 2 years after Windows 8 was released.
Yeah. So about 2 years. Like, that's a little quick.
And let's make sure.
Because it's like, how long has been Windows 11 been out?
That's what I was looking up. August 5th, 2021.
So you mean to tell me, okay, that's a year.
Yeah, about a year and some change. Yeah.
Years of change.
It's a little shorter than I think we would like, but also I imagine too, like, would we be having the same conversation if we always knew those dates? Because technically we didn't. We didn't know when Windows 7 all of a sudden disappeared from store shelves. Because also, like, and keep in mind too, it says that where is it? Microsoft's decision means that you won't be able to buy a Windows 10 license except through existing stores of license at third-party retailers. So Best Buy may still be, you can still buy Windows 10 at Best Buy until they run out. It's just that July 31st, they won't be receiving any new ones.
Right.
So like Newegg might have quite a few. Best Buy, Amazon, they may have quite a few keys still left to sell you long after January 31st.
Right. Probably some of them key sites, not the gray sites. Not like Kingwin or like
don't do
whatever,
that.
but
Don't do that.
But probably like sites like SCD Keys or
I still don't trust that site either.
GBG Mall. Like,
I don't trust them.
I mean, I heard about it. It's like a lot of our besties be hawking them sites.
But look, it takes one bad key. It takes one bad key.
Your favorite tech tuber I be watching them. I be watching them.
Can't do it.
And
can't do it.
My homie Kyle, the homie Paul. Shoot, the homie Paul hit me the king win.
How is it that they don't have connects within Microsoft to give them, like, either to just give them keys or even just discount keys?
It's not about discounts. It's about ads. And Kingwin was saying, "Hey, I got you."
No, thank you. No,
Here's the ads.
Because okay, so see, in that, I feel like for me at that point, that's like that's giving a clear sign you do not care about your audience.
Right. Because see, if you was like, I would understand if it was like brothers like Greg or like Tech Yes or Christopher Yee. You know, like the CD. Oh, kitty! It's the kitty! Kitty cat!
You know I gotta do it. Hold on. Where is me, Max?
Uh-oh.
You know I gotta do it. So everybody can see the kitty. Cannot be bothered. You see everything but my face. All right, thank you for Tech Talk. Thank you for participating in Tech Talk Thursdays Kitty Minute.
Kitty minute. It's time for a kitty minute. Kitty minute. Kitty minute. But yeah, I mean, there's probably gonna be like surplus keys out there. You want a key, you probably get a key, but I might be in the market for a key, or I might just be like, you know what?
Well, I would say like, hey, let me know if you are, but you may want to hurry up and do that because I get them from Microsoft, and yeah.
I think I might be good because I'm probably gonna like Frankenstein my Office PC. I think I might be good actually because I might end up Frankensteining my Office PC together.
You put some Linux on it. Look,
I mean, Linux is always an option.
Fedora 1. What do we put in the Discord?
What?
I forget
is there
the Discord like Fedora won an award this year, so.
Is there a way to like put Steam OS on a PC?
No, not yet. They do have a recovery image.
Gabe need to get on that.
So, all right. So my question is, why do you want Steam OS specifically on a PC?
Because I want Steam OS on a PC.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, why Steam OS specifically, as opposed to just any Linux distribution?
Because I want Steam OS on a PC.
I mean, look, I could just give you Fedora and tell you to install Steam on it. Like, it is literally that. That's all it is.
Or I just want to play around with Steam OS on the PC.
What? You know what? All right, you want to play with Steam OS on the PC? I got you, dog. I got you right here.
Steam Deck. I know.
No, I got you. Where's my controller at? There you go, baby. Steam OS on the computer.
Not the same thing. Anyway,
it's literally the same thing.
I said what I said, Major. Move on. I said what I said, Major. Move on.
I don't understand.
See, Ruin gets it. And Ruin understands exactly what I said.
Okay, all right.
I said I want Steam OS on the PC.
I got you. There you go, Steam OS right there, Arch Linux. That's what it is.
I want Steam. When Gaben say, "Hey, Steam OS is out here," then I'm like, "That's when I'm gonna go with because you're gonna learn about me."
Okay.
When I say something,
I got you.
I mean something.
I got you. How to install Steam OS on PC.
Now you really just taking time out of other articles.
Look, there you go. It's right here. There are instructions.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay. I will keep that in mind.
You know what? If this allows me to install it in a virtual machine, I think I might try this myself.
See?
But then again, I could just install Arch and then put Steam on it and then say, "Hey, Steam OS."
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The whole of reason why is I want to try the actual factual Steam OS on an actual build.
Okay. Microsoft Office may not open when you restore Windows 11.
In reasons why I'm gonna wait until Windows 11 air out.
If you're trying to roll back Windows 11's 2022 update to an earlier point in time, be careful. Several applications within Windows may not open as a result. The glitches aren't consistent either. Microsoft lists the following as possible behaviors. 1, an error message. This app can't open is displayed instead of the app starting. The app might have multiple entries on the start menu. An app may not respond when you try to start the app. An I/O error may occur, followed by the app not responding, and then the app crashes. If you try to start the app again, the app now runs.
I mean, Young is not wrong.
Ironically, returning to an earlier system restore point is another typical solution to a problem with an application installed as harms hardware, which filed an earlier report on the glitch notes. Hopefully Microsoft figures all this out soon. So wait, if your restore doesn't work, if your restore to an earlier point doesn't work, restore to an even earlier point to get it to work again.
Mm-hmm. I mean, to the literal point that I had, like, Windows was at the literal point where I had issues with the Xbox app, to the point where I had to reinstall Windows to get it to working right. And even then, I still had to like go through the fire and the effing flames to just get it to a point where I can use my Xbox app.
See, that sounds like my energy, but you went further than I would go. Because like at that point, if it just wasn't working, it's like, well, fuck it. I've got a weekend. Let me back up these files because we're doing a reinstall. I am not doing, look, if I couldn't launch the games, well, damn, I guess I'm just reinstalling Windows today.
Yeah. Because it was like, I fought tooth and nail not to do it, because it was like, why at that point would one, albeit a non, like essential feature to not work, but it was essential to me because I liked Game Pass and I wanted to have access to Game Pass and Game Pass games. And it's like, why is Windows fighting me?
Yeah,
and I'm what is called a power user, and it's giving me troubles. What would it be like on somebody who is just a light little end user who just wants to like push two buttons and play a game?
Do you really want to know?
I mean,
I'll show you. What
I
it's
know
like. I'll show you what it's like. Scroll down here. Oh yeah, by the way, this is the Fedora, the Phosphorus Reader's Choice Award for Best Linux Distro 2022. Fedora won that, by the way. But yeah, continuing on for this joke here. You want to know what it's like for a regular user to run into the issue? That. I don't know what happened. It's broken. My ISP can't fix it.
Where a lot of what we do.
I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of what we do
as the podcast art or this image. I am torn between the two.
I really think go ahead and put that image down, because I think that's what you're gonna. Yeah, because that would be the in context thing. Because
I mean, I don't know. I did say it's me, Dio, a lot too.
You know what would be cool if you just like put that image and then put Dio's image and then cut down the opacity to that, and it'd be Dio's in the background.
It was me, Dio.
It was me, Dio. You know why your monitor could not get signal? It was me, Dio. But yeah,
I'm gonna spend a lot of time in Photoshop tonight.
Windows is a mess.
This show is gonna be real late because I was spending a lot of time in Photoshop.
Oh, trust me, I have done those opacity things. Some things take like 15 seconds.
Well, I gotta learn it first.
Just literally, it's like layer, new layer, change the opacity to the next layer, and then that's it. Then you look at the video.
I'm asking ChatGPT. Give me all the truck. Explain it to me like I'm 5. I don't know. I'm trying to tell you, man, it shit works.
Mm-hmm.
And then
But
it's sad
yeah.
news.
Sad news.
Amazon is shutting down the Amazon Smile charity program in February because it was just stretched too thin.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like, I mean, because charities just weren't being helped enough to Amazon standards, when if you actually ask the charities themselves, they were like, any little bit helped. But Amazon was too up high on their ivory tower to even hear those cries. We cannot help the charities the way we think they should be helped. So we're no longer helping the charities.
Right. And would you don't realize, as somebody who has done charity work, it is literally nickels and dimes. It is literally change. I have seen people do like coin drives, like recycle can drives, where people would just be like, "Hey, you drink a lot. Do you guys drink a lot of soda? Bring in your aluminum cans, and we will take that to the recycler, and whatever they give us, we're going to add that to, basically to our fund." It is whatever little bit that you can give to an organization that helps, whether it's $1, whether it's $2, whether it's $20, you do that. And so for Amazon to be like, hey, we as a $1 billion company, if not border on $1 trillion company, could not give you what you need, when all people are doing is like, here's an affiliate code. All of this is charity affiliate. It's charity affiliate. You buy something through the links, or use like an applet, and then you shop through it, and the charity gets whatever percentage from that. It's just Amazon being like, we can't help people the way they want to, and we're canceling that program. All the while being where the charities are being exactly what Major says, every little bit helps. We are so glad for even being allowed to do what we do, and yet reasons we can't do.
I am. Kevin said the charitable version of what I'm going to say, which is,
yes,
these are several very long paragraphs that say we didn't feel like doing that anymore.
That part. It's really that. It's
because here's the other thing too. Let's not forget that there is a whole foundation that Jeff Bezos has that's also supposed to be charitable, and the only difference between that and probably this is the amount of kickback that he gets.
Yep.
Right? So, like, hey, if you're just like, hey, we're not doing this the way, we don't feel like this is being helpful in the way that we want to, for a program that's existed that long, the only difference between now and then is that you fired like thousands of people at this point, not making money or not being profitable, because you have made record profits for the last 2 years specifically, but that you're not making as much money as you want to make, I guess.
Mm-hmm. It's like what James Stephanie Sterling says. It's like they're not happy with a lot of money or a bunch of money. They want all the money. They want every single dollar that could be made ever. And when they don't get that, they're super mad and angry about it. And they're like, it's not giving. We're not living up to the expectations that we're supposed to give. It's not about, we want this. If we made 30% that quarter over our expectations, we're mad because it wasn't 35%.
Oh,
and if it was 35%, it's like you have to make as much money as possible, otherwise it's a flop. And if something sold like 5 million, but it didn't sell 10 million, then it's a commercial flop, and we won't make a sequel. and just like this, if they probably raked in millions of dollars for charities over the years, but it was like, well, we don't see this as being feasible in long term, so we're just going to stop it because under the quote unquote guise of we're not doing the best for them, even though you've done the best for them. And so it's kind of like it's a little cheap and cheesy to me. But
Verge, what do you mean you're waiting for? I mean, Ruin, what do you mean you're waiting for me?
Oh, for you to like express an opinion here, especially given, I guess, what you mentioned on Twitter earlier today.
Oh,
yeah.
You mean on
on Mastodon?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, it's really the thing. Like, and I've said this before, as someone who is big into charity, who is on the board of a charity. Yeah, like that thing. The button still. Remember, Trello board that is life. That's another card that's in my backlog of fix the button on Stream Deck that kicks off the capitalism thing. I think I can manually do it. Give me a second. Hold on. I might be able to manually do it.
Capitalism.
Did it work? I still don't know if that audio plays, so because I don't hear it in my headset. Okay, cool. Kev, you're muted.
Yeah, I heard it on stream. I liked it. It was funny.
Okay. But yeah, but essentially that though, like, as much as I love charity, I again on the board of a charity, work closely with my local children's hospital, raise funds for them, making sure hey, everybody has access to things. It's just that charity only exists because of fucking capitalism.
I don't agree with that necessarily.
I think if we were to get rid of the capitalist structures, we went back more towards if we looked at more like socialism on paper, not in practice, because obviously that hasn't worked yet. But if you look at socialism on paper and communalism, to where we're actively distributing the wealth between the populace to make sure that everybody's basic needs are met, that there are no millionaires, billionaires, that everybody is paying their fair share and everybody is equally contributing to mankind, then there wouldn't be a need for charity. I'm not saying do not look out for your fellow man, because at that point, if everything is equal, everything is square, everybody is contributing and everybody is having their basic needs met, then it's not charity at that point. That is just like people being good to other people. But here it is, charity. So like charity exists like hey, there is a huge pocket of civilization that does not have something. We need to funnel money into this as everybody else who is barely scraping by compared to the 1% of others, to try to bring somebody up at least until to some semblance of a basic life. Yeah, like it's just for me, like I the way capitalism is structured now, it's a thing of again, you see so many people who are benefiting, who are reaching out to charities to try to get funds, who are doing GoFundMe's or Indiegogos or shit like that, because the fact that they need a life-saving surgery that shouldn't cost as much as it does, or like they should just be able to have that access to that care, but they don't, because capitalism fucking prices everybody out of it. You have to have insurance. People can't afford insurance. But if there were basic needs met if people who are hoarding all of the money actually sit there and did what they said they were going to do, or actually would just do the fucking right thing for humanity and actually redistribute that shit, we would not be in this situation. Like, I get like raising money for a dog shelter, but again, like I feel like that's not charity. It's like, hey, we're just doing a fundraiser so that way, you know, we help this dog. But then again, too, if it wasn't for capitalism, we could probably afford cures or surgeries for dogs or cats or gerbils or whatever. If we weren't sit there fucking polluting a community in a third world country's water system, we wouldn't be needing to raise money to get them clean water. Or it's a thing of like, sure, there may be natural disasters, then like charity in that case would be it. But again, we're talking about like trying to get equal health, like at least a basic level of healthcare for people, children, or trying to like feed, clothe, home the homeless. Like those things should not be charities that exist if that wealth was being properly properly I don't say the word so much. I can't say it anymore. Damn it.
Redistributed is the word you're looking for.
Thank you.
So the thing I am going to say here, a very simple statement, is the following. There is the logical construct of, hey, at points in time, because of the way that life just happens to people, for better or for worse, on occasion, we have to come together to take care of each other, whether locally or larger than that for whatever reason. That being, like, for example, as you described, natural disasters that take out like a whole town. So we have that going on. That is point number one. And that logical structure means that charity, or the ideas that lead to it, have to exist, because taking care of other people also is a thing that is going to continue to exist. That's not a capitalist thing. The idea of groups of people getting together to take care of other groups of people that they may or may not know especially well, or may or may not live close to them physically, is not an exclusively capitalist notion.
Again,
that's one. The other thing is let me finish.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing is that there are a lot of things that currently exist in a way that sucks because it is under capitalism, but outside of capitalism would probably be radically different than the way that we experience them now. So I think we have to keep that in mind too when we talk about things like charity. Now, the concept of being a philanthropist can go straight into a garbage bin, for example. The idea of being like, hey, I just have all this money that people don't have, and I suppose I should do something, rather than like everybody should have enough to have their needs met, that a single person with a whole bunch of money, like their name is Bruce Wayne, shouldn't have to exist, is a thing. I could get behind the idea of taking like the concept of like philanthropy and putting that in the trash. The idea of, hey, I heard that people here or people there are having a terrible time. And yeah, maybe we don't know them, but they are fellow humans who share the same world that we do. Maybe we should help them, is a thing. And that idea could very easily, in a different form, exist well outside of capitalism, and capitalism never has to touch it.
So, and this is where I feel like my words are being misunderstood. The act of charity is not the issue. Is not the issue, because again, like I said, like you pointed out, like I said, hey, natural disaster, sure, everybody come together, we can help these people out, make sure that they're backed up to it. That is the act of charity. I am saying the institution of charities, like organizations that exist to sit there and try that are like whole ass businesses, like St. Jude's, Children's Miracle Network, United Way, Salvation Army, like organizations that exist to fill in a hole that was created through capitalist structures should not exist. The act of charity should be there, because again, that is the thing of like looking out for somebody else. The act of like, hey, I have something you need, here it is. That is me being charitable. But the institution, the organization that is known as a charity, like where you are making, like there is a business model for a 501c3, should not be a thing. We should not have a business that exists solely to sit there and try to fill a hole that was created through capitalism. Because everybody was doing things altruistically to begin with. The fact that we now have to have businesses that sole purpose is to continue to funnel money from those who are altruistic and will continue to give the money because of the fact that there are people who won't, and that's fine. I'm not going to force them to do it. But then the fact that there are the 1% who literally have the solution. Again, instead of ending world hunger like he said he was going to do, he bought Twitter. The United Nations gave this fucking man a bill, said an itemized receipt of this is how much you would cost to end world hunger. You have it. Yet he chose not to do that, buy Twitter, and now we still have UNICEF. We still got Sarah McLachlan singing songs about dogs and shit. And it's exactly right. Like it shouldn't exist. Like philanthropy shouldn't exist. Because again, if you got it, why are you not helping people? Again, you can't, like, I feel like if you have to tell me you are the thing you are you really the thing?
So I think I can say that we ultimately end up agreeing on the fact that at the very least, charity should exist, but businesses and the ability in general of people to profit off of doing the things that people should be doing for other people anyway shouldn't. Like that shouldn't be a thing.
Right.
And that's fine. We can agree on those things. But, for me, it was reading the words very specifically. And mind you, I'm saying reading here. Like charity shouldn't exist. So that's fine. I think we're good.
Well, I thought I was saying charities. Thought I was saying charities. And that's on me.
So
yeah.
we're
But yeah, poo-poo on Amazon for, essentially killing a revenue stream for these charities to do the things that they have to do because, again,
capitalism.
Now on to gaming news. Of course, as you may know, Stadia is no more. Google officially two-tapped it in the head yesterday afternoon. And if you are one of those lucky or unlucky few people who have a Stadia controller, you can now put in this weird fucking button command of codes now. Also, you got to plug into a computer and then do the weird button configuration thing, button configuration dance to get your Stadia controller to work on Bluetooth. So now you have a free controller that feels weird, looks weird, but it now works with Bluetooth devices like computers or phones or tablets. So yeah, have fun with that for those who bought a Stadia controller. I feel for all 12 of the peeps who were using Stadia. Happy the dude who had all those hours in RDR2 on Stadia got his progress transferred to another program. Yeah, I am too. Again, I'm glad for me. Like, look, all this shit was sent to me for free. Like, yeah, I essentially just got a free controller from Google that is just weird. Awesome Games Done Quick happened last weekend, and they raised $2.6 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. So they raised $2,644,770.41 from 39,857 donations from 21,519 donors. The max donation. I'm sorry?
I said good for them.
Yeah. The max donation was $100,000. The average donation was $66.36, and the median donation was $25. Oh, excuse me. Let's see. AGDQ 2022 set a new Games Done Quick record by raising over $3.4 million for the Prevent Cancer Foundation. And while this year's event didn't quite break any new records, it's still an incredible accomplishment the team accomplished. Wow, that is... I feel like a grammar teacher somewhere may have cringed when that sentence was read. But an incredible accomplishment the team accomplished that will make a difference for so many. The next big event from Games Done Quick will be Summer Games Done Quick 2023 from May 28th to June 4th. Last year, SGDQ raised a total of $3.01 million for Doctors Without Borders. I didn't hear if any, and I don't know, it may have been on Twitter. Again, I gotta say again, like Mastodon is a different beast all in of itself. So it may have been a lot of speed running conversation that were happening over the weekend. Like new things that were like new records that were being beaten and stuff like that. I haven't seen any. Slowly trying to get my games following up or games follow. What would you call it? Well, I feel like a group of people that are following you would be a following, but what would you call like a group of accounts that you were following?
Don't know.
It's like a very ego. Like it seems so very egotistic. Like where it's like you have a word for a group of people who follow you, but never you don't have a word or you don't know the word for a group of people that you follow. Like, I don't want to think of me as following someone else. People are always following me. Anywho. Yeah, I'm trying to follow more people on Mastodon who do cover games, who do talk about games and stuff like that. So hopefully by at the end of the month, like I'm trying to focus on following a lot of POC folks on Mastodon. And then that, like once the month is over, I'm going to follow more people that I think I find interesting on the platform. But basically, yeah, while I'm on Mastodon, I just want to hear from Black and brown voices only for the most part. Yeah, hopefully as things go on and start getting more gaming news and stuff coming in through there. I know it's there. Yeah, didn't really hear much. Didn't hear much about AGDQ this past weekend, but it's good to see that they still are here. They're still doing the thing. 2.6 million is still a lot for like a weekend. So good for them. Congratulations to that crew. And again, don't think they mention him here, but oh yeah, they do. Mike Uyama, yes, thank you so much again for doing this for the past 13 years. Please get some rest. Take care of yourself. I doubt you'll hear this, but yeah, definitely take care of yourself and get better. If you created an amazing thing, and it's good to see it. Now, yeah, again, hope to see this still for years to come, even after you step down. All right, so now this is where I salivate on some things here. We've got some tech specs for the game I've been looking forward to because of direct storage. It's Forspoken time. Forspoken comes out at the end of the month, if I am not mistaken, January 24th. And they've got some really hefty requirements here. Is for the for the minimum requirements at 720p 30 frames per second, a Ryzen 5 1600 Intel Core i7 3770, GPU AMD Radeon RX 5500 XT 8 GB, or NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1060 6 GB, 16 gigs of RAM, and at least 150 gigabytes of storage. Ruin, look, it's finally a game with a black femme protagonist. And again, direct storage. I'm just saying, I don't even only play games like this, but I'm here again for the direct storage and the black femme protagonist. Also, like from what I've seen and from what they've highlighted of the story, there's a lot of women in this game. Like I think I've seen like one guy and then like a male voice for whatever item that she has with her throughout the story. So like Young likes the demo. What did you think of the demo, Ruin? You know, as someone who owns a PS5 and who can play the demo, some of us only have beefy PCs and we weren't privy to the demo.
Facts.
The demo was okay. I reserve judgment until I can play it on PC. Oh, Ruin, no. You know what? No, I need to stop listening to other people. It's a game that I'm excited about and I want to play it. See, if I listen to other people, then I won't play it and I'll miss out on something spectacular. This is why I don't do reviews.
Play the game.
Yeah. See? This is what we'll do. There you go. Yeah, judge it for yourself. I will. For recommended requirements, 1440p at 30 frames per second. Of course, you're looking at a AMD Ryzen 5 3600X or Intel Core i7 8700K. AMD Radeon RX 6700 XT 12 GB or NVIDIA GeForce GTX 3070 8 GB. Excuse me, 24 gigabytes of RAM, and again an SSD at this point with 150 gigabytes or more of storage. I do not like the fact that to get just 1440p at 30 frames per second, you're going to need an RTX 3070. I don't know how I feel about that. And for Ultra, of course, if you're wanting to play this game at 4K at 60 FPS, you're looking at the AMD Ryzen 5 5800X. Wait a second. Kev, what CPU do you have again?
Ryzen 7 5800X.
That's what I thought. So this one says a Ryzen 5 5800X. It's like, this doesn't make sense to me. I don't know how that doesn't make sense to me. Like, that's not right.
Well, according to this box that I have in my hand, yep, I believe that says 7.
Yeah, like I'm looking at right, AMD Ryzen 7 5800X.
Yep,
I'm hoping
that was clearly a typo.
There has to be, especially like when with the recommended requirements, they're looking at a Ryzen 5. See, I imagine like
says right here, right there in the screen. Yeah.
Hold on. Just keep that there for a second. Keep that there. Hold on. Working the background. Yeah.
See it right there.
Ryzen 7 5800X, 8 core, 16 threads. Look at that. Ooh, that's ooh.
With that max boost though.
That max boost though.
Yep.
So we're just gonna assume that's a Ryzen 7 at this point. That's going to be an interesting question. Will it run on a Steam Deck? But yeah, so AMD, so for ultra requirements, again, 4K 60 FPS, AMD Ryzen 7 5800X, the Intel Core i7 12700, the GPUs, AMD Radeon RX 6800 XT, 16 gigabyte NVIDIA GeForce, and that's supposed to be RTX. So yeah, that should have really tipped me off too when they kept referring to these as GTX cards. RTX 4080, 16 gigabyte, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and
wait, who wrote this article?
GameSpot. So there's also that. There's also that.
That answers a lot of questions.
Yeah, I probably should have pulled this from a more PC centric or more technical website, like maybe Eurogamer or. I should probably put PC Gamer back on my RSS feed. I think when I switched RSS feeds, PC Gamer didn't come over when I imported things from Feedly. I'm not sure why, but yeah, I just never really went back to follow them after that. ChatGPT wrote this article. Would not be surprised. The Verge has some of these same. Do you know what? I wonder if they copied this maybe from Square. Maybe Square is the source of this problem. But also SSD space there is specifically saying in NVMe SSD 150 gigabytes or more. So it's amazing as the requirements go up, everything fucking goes up, even the type of storage you use. And of course, like I said, I'm looking for this again. 1, black film protagonist. 2, DirectX, direct storage, so that way I can finally load games. Because again, I for some reason have beef with people who do not have beef with me. I now am taking umbrage with consoles to say I want a game that can load as fast as a current gen console. I am tired of staring at loading screens on my PC. This makes no sense that I have to do that. That's direct store for you. That performance ain't free. I will pay the cost to be the boss, Merge. Yes. Absolutely. I'm fighting for every bit of performance I can possibly get. I want my frames to be framing, and I don't want to be waiting for nothing. Everybody can get it. Whether you ask for it or not. Take it on the PS. Look, I'm talking about you, Xbox Series X. I see you. Not gonna let a small little refrigerator looking motherfucker said to beat me in gaming speeds. The numbers are in. Switch was tops in the US for December in 2022. And so was Modern Warfare 2. Oops, I punched my mic. That's how mad I am. I just punched it. Let's see here. Yeah, nobody's shocked. Nobody's shocked by these numbers. Let's see. The best-selling games for December were Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, which is still very surprising, but I guess, you know, hey, Christmas. God of War Ragnarok, Madden, NFL 23, and FIFA 23. The best-selling game was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. For 2022, the best-selling game was what the fuck? Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, Elden Ring, Madden, NFL 23, God of War Ragnarok, and Lego Star Wars. How is it that 2 games that came out in the at the tail end of the year sell that many damn copies? And especially with God of War Ragnarok being on one platform, or technically 2, because it's on the PS4 as well. That's impressive. Of course, in hardware, PlayStation 5 was the best-selling platform for December and the year in dollar sales, which while Switch sold the most units during December 22 and for the entire year. Now, again, I can say, especially with the PlayStation 5 being the best-selling platform December in the year, where I will also make the argument, who are they selling to? At this point, seeing this information and seeing that God of War Ragnarok is one of the best-selling games of 2022, I guess PlayStation, there are PlayStations in people's hands. I don't know why somebody would hoard copies of God of War Ragnarok. I don't think that would. That's a good question. I don't know if that would include the bundle though. Let's see, for accessories, there was a 50% increase in steering wheels. Gang, gang. You know, everybody trying to drive in whips. I see you. The Xbox Elite Series 2 wireless controller was the best-selling accessory during December and the year in dollar sales. Mobile sector, according to the Sensor Tower, December saw an uptick in spending with the biggest gains month over month occurring in December from geolocation games, Pokemon Go up 17%, simulation games, Roblox up 15%, action titles, Genshin Impact up 15%, and shooters, Call of Duty mobile up 14%. So yeah, going everybody. Money was made by all, I guess. Congratulations to the Switch and the PlayStation 5. Xbox Series X, the system that I would prefer if I was looking for a console. I mean, I guess after sitting with it for a while I'm not looking for, you know, the next big thing on Xbox, because I have Game Pass and I don't care, I can see why people are upset that like Microsoft has not put out anything. There is nothing that they're selling. There's no real compelling reason to own an Xbox, because literally all of the first party shit's on PC for the most part. Granted, they've got things in the pipeline, but again, we've not seen anything. Excuse me, or at least anything of note. Also, it probably won't help that 11,000 people at Microsoft lost jobs, including those at Bethesda and Xbox. So 2023 will tell us even more. Ubisoft Paris staff called to strike following CEO's "ball is in your court" comments. Now there's been an update to this, and like this is the old one. The original comment was like, where is it? Oh, there we go. Quote, "Today more than ever, I need your full energy and commitment to ensure we get back on the path to success. I am also asking that each of you be especially careful and strategic with your spending and initiatives to ensure we're being as efficient and lean as possible. The ball is in your court to deliver this lineup on time and at the expected level of quality and show everyone what we are capable of achieving." In response to those comments, the Ubisoft Paris chapter of Workers Union Stadia Informatique has now called for strike action on Friday, January 27th, writing, quote, "The ball is in our court, but the money stays in his pocket." Stadia Informatique statement accuses Guillermo of trying to shift the blame once again onto the employees, saying the CEO's calls for employees to give it our all and to be efficient and lean as possible would lead to overtime, managerial pressure, and burnout. And I forgot to grab it. Let's see here. Okay, so everybody's sharing the strike part, but yeah, Yves Guillemot, the Ubisoft CEO, has actually come through and allegedly apologized. But yeah, it does, like, while I've seen it covered, nothing on Google has actually resurfaced saying, hey, he allegedly apologized. So this is interesting. Like, I don't even know how to interpret this. Like, here it is. I'm looking for the response, but nothing on Google when searching for Ubisoft Paris shows the response. It's one of those like, no, he said what he said, and nobody's done anything after that at all. Wow, that is... yeah, nothing at all. Okay, here we go. So if I search for Yves Guillemot, I will get the apology. Quote, "I heard your feedback and I'm sorry this was perceived that way." Okay, that doesn't sound, not, yeah, I remember reading that and I was like, wait, yeah, that doesn't, that's the beginning of the positive. "I'm sorry you were offended by the things I said." To me, that just feels like a red flag, but continue. "When saying the ball is in your court to deliver our lineup on time at the expected level of quality, I wanted to convey the idea that more than ever, I need your talent and energy to make it happen. This is a collective journey that starts, of course, with myself and with the leadership team to create the conditions for all of us to succeed together. Yuma also remained vague about the potential for layoffs. Quote, it's not about doing more with less, but finding ways to do things differently across the company, end quote. So yeah, while he apologized, I don't know, man. It's just red flag. It's red flag. Just, I don't know. Gentlemen, your thoughts on what's going on with Ubisoft Paris?
Sam, would you like to go first?
I would not.
Like after you? No, after you.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna keep it brief as best as I can. Ubisoft is in the find out phase because they have fucked around for long enough, and now they are finding out because as Paris learned, and as the country of France is going through a massive protest as we speak, and massive amounts of protests, and then Ubisoft Paris was like, well, what's one more? Let's just throw that on the fire right now. Let's just add to the shenanigans that is everybody else. So Paris be Parising and France be Francing, and nobody has never learned.
So you see, this. So you see, right? You see what I put?
Yeah.
You see what I put up?
Yes. Oh yeah. Yee is literally like a part.
Yes, like
of a culture
ruin.
that is revolution.
Said Ubisoft Paris. I literally said Ubisoft Paris.
It is literally a revolution. It is known for many revolutions.
Also, wait a second. Let's see. Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yep. Which also takes place in Paris during said revolution. If not the third game.
But it was made in Montreal. So maybe Paris didn't get that memo, but it was made in Montreal, which is a French province of like I think that's French and not English.
Right.
So
but they are, as I've learned from my few Canadian friends, they are different. They are similar and yet different. And yeah. Would Montreal or Quebecers would riot this way? Probably not. But would Natural Boy French? Yes, they would.
Oui, oui.
But from France? Oui, oui. Qu'est-ce que c'est? But yes, so yeah, Yee is like in the F around. It has F'd around, and he has found out.
And it's sad too, because I like saying his name, and I like hearing him talk because he's a funny
Gilmont.
Like when I was reading the quote from him, like reading everything that Eve wrote,
right?
I read it in his voice, which is like that very, very whiny French. Like, I'm sorry, not whiny, but it's like in that very, very stereotypically French accent that you would imagine more French people would sound like.
It is heightened. It is heightened French. It is like we are here for the lovely things that we do for our own development.
We make what we love Mario about this game. It's like, oh my god, like I can't.
We have worked with Shigeru Miyamoto to show our game off. Take it away, Monsieur.
And there goes our two French. Oh, I'm sorry, our half of a French listener and viewer.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. But yeah. To which degree, I'm pretty much down to like 2 games, and that is like Anode, which I have not played that much, and I probably won't stream it, and then Settlers, which is coming out at some point, which I have played a lot of the Settler games, but out of that, I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, Ubisoft is going the way that it is going, and it is going because of its own shenanigans. And it's still surprising that there are people running around who are not arrested for crimes because they did crimes. They literally crimed. They broke the law, and the legal systems had failed because they have not in jail, because they're not in jail, because they have done crimes. And people also associated with the company has done crimes. Surprisingly, those who are very close to a community that we were a part of. I'm not going to say any more than that, but y'all already know. And yeah,
I'm gonna have to ask for what I'm gonna have to ask for the tea bags you are currently. I'm gonna have to ask for the tea bags you are currently using. I would like to use them myself, but I'll get that offline.
Right. But yes, they have crimed, and it's just another thing that it's just another reason that Ubisoft is one of the worst. Are they the worst? No. Are they one of the worst? Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Nope. I've caught up.
It is a race to the bottom. Yep.
I've caught up. I've now realized what you were talking about.
Yeah.
I'm caught up now. I do have that. I do have that brand of tea here already. I got you.
Yeah. I figured you would.
It took me a minute. It's been a while. Like, look, it's sitting at the back of the cupboard. I don't think about it anymore. I don't even go in that cupboard anymore.
Right.
But yeah, that's right. It's behind. It's behind the Swiss Miss.
Right. But yeah, hot mess. And I for one will not tell nobody to stop playing games, but stop playing their games. But I'm not playing those games. And I just say, hey, vote with your wallet and do what you do. But hey,
look.
I'm pretty much down to 2 games now.
We can say Ubisoft released Mario and Rabbids, but I'll always look at that as a Nintendo game.
Yeah.
I'll look at that as a Nintendo game. Telling Lies, Donut County, and others are leaving Game Pass at the end of January.
Go play Donut Country.
It's really quick.
County.
It is really quick.
Oh, it's very quick.
Very quick.
It's like 4 hours. It's a really quick game.
Yeah, I played it on iPhone. It was really fun.
It's a really funny game, but yeah, it's a short game. One game that I never played I would like to have played was that Taiko game.
It is
Taiko
really
drum game.
It was really confusing with a controller. I was like, I tried as yeah, I'm okay.
No, you need the drum controller.
Yeah,
no, you need the drum controller. And
I'm not playing with controllers.
And I looked to see how
I'm good.
Yeah, and I looked to see how much they cost, and they were surprisingly expensive. Like, wow. Like, really? Because I was thinking, like, maybe I can kick them like $40, $50. And
but I feel like at that point you would have had to buy the game too, because like knowing it was going to leave Game Pass, like, well, now I have these drum controllers, but I don't have the game.
Yeah. Right. I don't have the game now. So it was just really like a loss. It was literally a loss on all forms, because if you've already invested in the drums, and you've been playing this game already, you already had the game. You already bought it.
Yeah.
So it was like,
it's like getting DJ Hero 2 on Game Pass, and it's like you went out to buy the DJ deck, and then they removed it. It was like, well, now what the fuck was I supposed to do with this? It was a really hard and tough sale, because unless you were a fan of this property, you would have already bought it. Mm-hmm.
And you would have already had the drum, and you would have already had the drums. You probably would have had the nicer drums.
I think at that point, like, they were just hoping that people would just still play it with a controller.
And no.
Or again, a lot of people look at Game Pass as a demo, like just a very very extended demo. So it's like, hey, I played this game, I like it enough to where I will invest in the drum controller, and knowing that it's about to leave Game Pass, I guess I'll put that money in to buy it. And if they waited to the end, or I'm not, because I think they're on discount even while they're in Game Pass for this reason.
Yes.
That like, hey, I
Yes.
can buy it now or wait to the end when it's not on Game Pass, and like I can still get it at a discount before it goes back up to full price.
Yeah. Yes.
So I imagine like that's how they were looking at it. Not so much like nobody was ever going to play this game. It's not like it was DJ Hero where you literally cannot play the game unless you have the deck.
Right.
At least with
So-
Tycho, you could play it with the controller.
Yeah, it just felt like a tough sell to me, like, because I'm the type of person is if I can't do it the way that the game wants me to do it, or if I can't do it in the best quality of for me to get the best experience, then I'm not gonna invest on it, because them controllers were not cheap. So them controllers were not cheap. So I was like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll just if I find myself in a good place where I could play it, then I will play it. But until then, I'm good.
So with the arrival of big hitters including Monster Hunter Rise and Persona on Game Pass this month, more games which will leave the service has been announced through the app. Titles previously confirmed to be leaving the service include We Happy Few, Danganronpa, Trigger Happy Havoc, and Windjammers 2, which became unavailable earlier this week. Leaving soon at the end of this month will be Sam Barlow's Telling Lies, which again, I posted this image here. This motherfucker looks like damn Ubuntu.
Yeah.
It looks like Ubuntu. You cannot convince me otherwise. And I really had to make sure it wasn't somebody playing a game in Ubuntu, because I can see the silhouette of the person staring at the screen. Is it? Oh, okay, yeah, this is definitely a fake desktop. It is not Ubuntu. This is Telling Lies.
Yes.
Also, they're clearly on a laptop. Yeah, Sam Barlow's Telling Lies, Yorkshire's own Worms WMD, charming indie puzzler Donut County, and Microsoft exclusive Taiko not Tatsujin, the Drum Master. They're all set to leave Game Pass. Game Pass subscribers can, as always, buy these titles with a 20% discount. So yeah. Persona. Some more Persona is coming this week, if not already here. And Monster Hunter Rise launches tomorrow. We'll be doing something special with that later on this week. Well, I say later on this week, like there's not only 2 days left in the week. So on the streaming news, I mean, technically this is everyday tech, but I mean, sure, I guess streamers would really want to know this. Logitech has launched a new $70 webcam to replace their aging C920S. It is sad to see the reigning champion of webcams go away. The C920 line of webcams, much love. We miss you.
Yep.
But yeah, so they're releasing a new webcam that I don't know how to feel about the design. Well, what are y'all thinking here? So it's the Brio 300. Specs put it in the same ballpark as Logitech's ubiquitous C920S Pro HD webcam, which also has an MSRP of $70. The Brio 300 benefits from a sleeker, more modern design and a neatly integrated privacy shutter that can be manually swiveled around to cover its camera when not in use. The C920S Pro HD still has a privacy shutter, but its design is nowhere near as neat. The Brio, this is what's going to kill it for me. The Brio 300 connects via USB-C. which is something to bear in mind if your computer only has USB-A ports available. But based on people's experience with Logitech's other USB-C webcams, you should be able to use a USB-C to USB-A adapter as a workaround. Versus the $130 Brio 500. Oh, which is this pill one. Okay, Logitech, what are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah, I don't like that.
Versus the $130 Brio 500, the Brio 300 lacks stereo microphones, has a narrower 70-degree field of view versus 90 degrees on the Brio 500, and there's no mention of support for the Logitech's auto framing feature. But at nearly half the price of the Brio 500, these could be trade-offs worth making if you're on a tighter budget. The Brio 300 is now on sale. So I guess you're looking at maybe, what is it? Yep. Brio Line only offers 1080p. Oh, okay. Only offers 1080p 30 FPS.
To be fair, it's a better it's essentially a better replacement to the C920.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a newer, more current with variation of an older thing. Probably has a newer sensor, but it's just a newer variant of the same old thing with a little spit and polish on it, little zing to it.
Yeah, for me, I would I would still prefer the 60 FPS. I mean, especially like if you were streaming games at 60, I think I would still want to move at the same frame rate my game does or my stream is broadcasting, because it just looks weird otherwise.
Yeah. Because that's currently what mine is. It's like 30 frames, and
so the C922, it's like it was weird, like how they kind of did like the C920, C922, the C920S. It was just like those were just all over the fucking place. So like for me, I went to I was C920. Then the Brio 4K, which did give me 1080p 60, and then hello Canon.
Yep.
But yeah, like if you're doing like meetings and stuff like that, or again, like there are people who don't care about having the 60 FPS option, and that's fine. But I know, like for me, like I want to be in the same frame rate as whatever else I'm streaming, because otherwise I feel like anything at 30. If you are doing anything at 30 and you are broadcasting, or the feed is at 60, the refresh rate is 60 hertz, and you're at 30, it looks weird. So, I mean, I don't know. What about you, Sam? What are you thinking?
Do you mean about the games going in, going out, existing this week? Or about these cameras?
Oh, the cameras. We're on the cameras.
I don't know, because at first I was kind of like, what are we doing with this? And also, like, is this going to be, like, I have a C920. It's one of those, okay, so you told people this, like, what are we doing here with this? Like, hey, this is in the same ballpark as the C920 camera, which is, as I understand it, a fair bit cheaper than this one.
Same price.
If these are about the same price, is it though? I'm pretty sure I didn't spend that amount of money on the camera. But
I mean,
the
C920s were always on sale, and keep in mind this was always before the pandemic.
Yeah,
and this is
because they were like their MSRP, but a majority of them were on like
you could get like a C920 on sale. Like if somebody sneezed, Amazon put them on sale.
Yeah, they would be like 50. They'd be like 50, 45, 45, 50
Yeah.
regularly. Yeah. So majority of us got paid like $50 for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things of being like, because I think for the most part, the most of the people I know already have like a 920. It would be things like, if they're going to come out with something like today and be like, hey, this is right around the ballpark is this camera. I'm like, I don't know. I feel like you had time to make a significantly better camera than that if that was something that you really wanted to do.
I mean, well, so remember, like, they do have the Brio 4K Pro, which was the next step up from the C920. Wait, this is Windows Hello support? I might have to switch the camera out. Well, no, because I use this one on Windows, so maybe not. I do like Windows Hello. I don't want to type the password into things. So yeah, like you have the Brio 4K Pro, which does 4K 30, 1080p 60. You have the Brio 500, which, let's see, 720p 60. I think 1080p 30. Stereo microphones, I like that. Looks like magnetized little bass and stuff here. And then not like the new budget option. So I don't think they're trying to get people to like, if you have a C920, I don't think like this isn't necessarily to get you to upgrade, but it's like, hey, we're no longer going to sell the C920s anymore. This is like, our webcams are now the Brio line of webcams. This is the new budget Brio. If you were looking for a new webcam, here it is. And I'd imagine too, like there's probably new optics and stuff in there. There's probably new underlying technologies that the C920s don't have anymore or never had. I don't know, Ruin, I don't know. I'm just saying, like, they may phase out the C920s because now they have a $70 basic webcam.
I guess that would be the thing. If they were going to stop selling C920s altogether, then maybe. But other than that, why?
Also keep in mind too, I feel like for like the creator cameras that Logitech's been making, like the stream cam that I have here that I've connected to my Mac, the Brio 300, and I think probably the 500 also has it too. They're all terminating with USB-C, which means they're probably made to be more compatible with laptops that have more USB-C ports than USB-A. So that's another thing. Like, hey, you may buy this C920. Now you got to get a dongle to sit there and plug it into your laptop to do a thing because your laptop's webcam is shitty. Again, we notoriously Mac's webcam, built-in webcams have been fucking garbage. So here's a webcam that you could buy that you can plug right into your MacBook's USB-C port and have a better webcam.
So I guess it's the USB-C that would be the kind of important thing here.
That, and again, like there's probably just some underlying tech that, you know, we could explain it to you, but you wouldn't understand. It's a thing of, you would say, what does it make me look better in video? Is it better than my built-in webcam? And this is Logitech, not me. I don't even know what's in this camera, so I couldn't explain to you if I don't even know. Like I imagine the low light may be better than what's in the C920S. So like, yeah, we could sell you a camera that we made 3 years ago, or you can get this new one that's the same price that may have better tech in it. It has this privacy thing that's built into it that doesn't like snap on or off. It looks sexy. It has USB-C on it. It's probably better than the Elgato face cam because it has a microphone built into it. Yes, I'm still bitter about that. And yes, Kev, I'm going to
Who
send it to you eventually.
Absolutely not.
I'm going to
I
send
mean,
it
I
to
wasn't
you.
gonna ask him. I wasn't gonna ask about it.
I'm going to send it to you. Again, Trello board. The Trello board that is my life. I'm sorry, let me call it a Jira board. That makes more sense. It is the Jira board that is my life. I need to move that off the backlog, put it into new so I can put it in progress. Are there really computers released in the last 5 years without one USB-C port in the back? So the motherboard that I bought before this one that I currently am using, the one that's going to be put in Major Lab, does not have any USB-C ports. Believe it or not, the first USB-C port I had on a desktop PC that wasn't a Mac was on my H710, my NZXE H710 case that I bought mid 2022, excuse me. That was the only access I had to a USB-C port on my desktop PC.
Like this computer mod has like a few of them on there, so I would be like, I'm like, oh, okay, that should be fine.
Yeah, like this was the first one. Like the first USB-C port I had on a desktop PC was when I bought the case last year. Then when I upgraded the motherboard to think it was going to fix my microphone, which again, it's still working. I don't know how, but it is. When I bought the new motherboard, I bought the motherboard because it has a USB-C port on it, but it only has one. I only have two USB-C ports on this entire desktop PC. My Mac Studio has 6. My Mac Mini, I think that has 4. I think the Mac Mini has 4. My MacBook Pro has 3. I think the ThinkPad I own, my work ThinkPad has 2. But yeah, like I only just got USB-C on a desktop computer or on a Windows desktop PC in the year of our Lord 2022. I think most people may have been introduced to a USB-C port on a desktop machine when it was included on the RTX 20 series cards. When it was, I think it was like the VR port. But yeah, USB. Yeah, it's really weird to like not see USB. It's really weird to see USB-C on desktops, like especially DIY boxes. Like you may see a couple on pre-built systems, but yeah, like on a Windows desktop PC, I think it's still rare to get USB-C ports on them because everything we have, like a lot of external PC hardware, is still plugging into USB Type A. But yeah, I think with Logitech, they're really going for the creators who are using laptops, who are using tablets, who are using Macs specifically to do a lot of this content creation. The fact that my Logitech Stream Cam can turn on its side to do vertical video. Like that was its selling point. And again, the reason why I hated it when I bought it, because like, why? But yeah, so there you go. Your newest streamer's favorite webcam, maybe, until like there's just like some eBay, Facebook Marketplace back market alley where you sit there just, you know, buying and selling C20s everywhere because everybody can't get it up to that one. Just people just gonna start buying vintage webcams at this point. So, you know, I really like the, you know, the graininess that was the C920. It really gave a more authentic look to my live streams.
Mm-hmm.
And over in deals, it's free play days. And unlike last week where It was I Am Fish. Still mad about that.
Yeah.
This weekend, we get Tiny Tina's Wonderlands and Space Crew Legendary Edition. And while I don't know about Space Crew, I think I might dip a toe in Tiny Tina. Maybe just dip a toe, see what that is, see how that goes. Seems interesting. Yeah. Still trying to convince myself that maybe I'll like Borderlands, but I don't know. It was great to be able to stream it without it hitching every 5 seconds like in December, but you know, wasn't enough for me. I didn't even play I Am Fish. I refuse to play I Am Fish. Just no, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that to myself. Got better games to play. And ladies and gentlemen, that's it. It's done. It is over. It is finito. That is the show. Kev, Sin, I know, again, we skipped over, hey, what were you doing last week? So we, like I said, we agreed that, hey, we're going to bypass a lot of this fluff to get to the show. We did that. But now we have some time. Let's say, what's been going on? What's going on? Anything you want to highlight from last week, next week?
Nothing too much. I do want to like preface the fact that I have been starting playing Civ 6 again, so y'all probably gonna get some like really chill like Civ 6 streams from me, because yeah, that game is fun, and I'm pretty much planning on buying pretty much all the DLC, with adding the Leaders Pass at some point, so I can get that good Queen Nzinga action. Looking forward to that. Also, MLK was Monday. I spit that, Black Panthered up, so I was very much UConn. I was like, Ye Bombay. I was very Ye Bombay that day. And just mostly just been relaxing, flexing at Instapot, and dabbling in a little Horizon. I'm getting there. I'm like 30%. I'm 30% in the progression, but I feel like I'm about
percentage for that.
Yeah, it's like game progression. Like you can check all. I think I'm like 30.3%, because I just been kind of like running around doing like some of the side missions for a little extra. I haven't even like touched. I only did like the one tall neck, and then I can't even tell you like the vantage points and like metal flowers, because at one time I was like, let me get as many metal flowers, and then it's like, yeah, no, I think I'm good. I think I'm going to get back into the story again, at least do like bandit camps or cauldrons or something like that. But I've been kind of dabbling on Horizon on the low, and I think I'm at a good point where I can jump back into Fortnite again. But other than that, that's pretty much about it. Sin, do you have anything?
Well, this week was more sign language classes where I learned interesting things, and the first stream of the year of Hollow Knight challenges. I decided to dust some things off there and see how the runs went. They went really well, so we're back at the grind through the Pantheon, the final Pantheon of the game. Next week is tabletop games. A Thursday plays week, I believe, is next week. So games here and tabletop games. Just lots of tabletop games, and maybe doing a bit of writing, walking, all of that other jazz. With Miss Kitty over here in the corner. Yeah, I'm talking about you.
I must have missed it. I ain't see no percentage, but I'll find it somewhere. Yeah, see, for me, earlier this week this weekend I did the whole hardware swap. So the new Ryzen 9 5900X is installed. The beautiful RGB RAM is installed, and it looks very, very pretty. And I think it makes me more of a gamer now. I am the super gamer with the RGB in my system. I tried turning RGB on the rest of the case lighting. It does not look as great as the RAM does, so I turned it off. Just like no, we're not doing that. But the RAM stays. The RAM stays. It looks pretty. The RAM looks pretty. I might actually add 2 more sticks. I don't know what 64 gigs of RAM is going to do for me, other than allow me to open way more Chrome tabs than I need. But I mean, that's a bonus. That's a plus, I guess. So with all of that, I have been playing some more Horizon. Was able to stream that flawlessly last night for the first time ever. I actually enjoyed playing Horizon on stream last night. Oh yeah, I could install more VMs. I like that idea. Maybe that's what I'll do. Just install all the VMs now. Video editing is slightly faster than it used to be with the new CPU. Stardew works on it. As long as I'm not opening up too many game capture windows in OBS, everything works fine. Monday stream was a fucking hot mess, and I realized, like, that's actually where I think I started using It Is Me Dio. Because when I realized I was the author of all of my pain, after having to try to install drivers, reboot PCs, and nothing worked, only to realize it was my fault. GTA 5 was working just fine. Cyberpunk was playable on stream. So yeah, I'm looking forward to creating a lot more content now that, you know, that the bottleneck, at least for a lot of recent games, has been removed. I can even play Fortnite without it crashing my audio. I can hear things through an entire match. Again, maybe, but I still would argue maybe that's what we needed, because that's how we won our first game, or that's how we won that game. With me screaming like a madman because I could hear nothing. This coming up week, just chilling, playing some games. According to Merge, I am anywhere between 4 and 10 hours away from the end of Horizon. We have like 10, 11 days left, 12 maybe. I don't know how time works. To the end of the month. So I'm gonna try to wrap that up so we can move over to our third game, which I guess we should probably talk about and decide what that game's going to be. Will it be Monster Hunter? I don't know. It could be, possibly, but more concrete information tomorrow for Major Plays, our community game night over at Discord, majors.house/Discord. We are playing Monster Hunter Rise as it releases on Xbox platforms. It is available on Game Pass. So we're gonna jump in and try to colonize where all the monsters live and be the villains that we truly are. Because again, as I've stated, as I've watched Kev play so much of this game, I do not believe we are the good guys in this scenario, because these monsters out here living their best lives and we are over here just slaying them.
You have to think about you being a hunter, because the commission, which is like the hunter commission, which is like the fictional thing in the game, you have to think of yourself as conservationists, because many times, if you have too much of one monster over doing another monster, yeah, especially Magnamalo, you don't want that. You don't want too many of those running around.
Is that in the story? Is that in the story, or is this headcanon?
Well, this is like, according to the game, it's separate from the quote the other Monster Hunter world, what's called the old world or the new world.
Mm-hmm.
This is like takes place in a place called Kimura Village, and so it's like it's within the same world but different.
But in Rise, am I a conservationist?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You're more of a you're more a defender of the village.
Okay,
And
so if these monsters,
hunting,
so if these monsters attack the village within like the first cutscene, I will feel better. If not, I'm gonna really feel really bad about this.
well, that's
Nature
what
doesn't
you
know
call
what it's
the.
doing. We know better.
It's more into the fact that we are now a part of that nature, and if we want to success, we got to keep these big keep these big hulking beasts from destroying us.
Who was there first?
That kind of thing.
Who was there first?
I think the Wyverians were there first.
So the monsters
Oh,
were
you
there
ain't got
first.
there yet.
So the monsters were there first.
It's a combination of we and Monster are in tandem, and then it's like, oh, we're trying to have civilization, and you're like,
See,
monsters are like,
I'm trying not to live the life of a colonizer. Is what I am essentially getting at.
right.
I don't
you're
want to
not,
be up here
you're
like,
not
I'm killing you because I want this land.
You have to think of yourself as more like a forest ranger, more or less than a concert, more or less like I'm loot and plunder and I'm killing everything because, you know, bucks. It's more or less like, hey, we don't want these monsters to truly take, you know, destroy their own ecosystem, especially in world where it was like one monster was definitely gonna destroy an entire ecosystem.
Well, I will tell you what, tomorrow you'll know.
Yeah.
I will let you know.
Yeah.
I will keep tabs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I will let you know where my colonizometer goes with this game.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what we're doing here.
So I will be the helper of the group, and I'll be like, you know, I'll be giving you tips. Most time I might be yelling, but I will be yelling with love.
I mean, of course, that's what we all do. I mean, I yell out of love. I also yell out of I don't know and confusion.
Yeah,
I yell out of panic.
But
I yell out of yell.
That's the one thing. That's one thing about the monster. The monster will whoop your ass, and
of course, yes, I'm gonna run around screaming like, "Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! It's gonna kill me!"
But the great thing about Rise though, your hunter will tell you when a big attack's gonna happen. Like, oh my god. It's like, here comes the big one, and then all of a sudden you just like duck out of the way.
Just drop my shit down, just run. No.
Yeah, that part. running is important. Running is very important in that game. Running and dodging is the best part of that game.
So it sounds like keyboard. I mean, it sounds like controller is probably going to be my best bet in this one.
Controller is the best. Controller is that best thing. And the one button you need to be really handy with is the A button. The A button is dodge. Learn the dodge button well.
Oh, I know.
Radial. Yeah. Whatever. When you find out what the dodge button is, I think it's A. I don't think it's A.
It seems like the jump might be button. B. Yeah, I feel like A would be jump. That game seems like you would jump.
No, I think it is B because you basically want to make sure you know what your radial menu is your best friend. Do not rely on selecting the buttons because there's a good chance you're going to be like, where's snowberries? Where's the snowberries? And you're not going to be able to find that. So make sure you put no berries on your radial. So all you just have to do is go hold button, lift up, and then, I'm drinking a potion now.
Hooray.
So, hooray. If you are not afraid, if you are afraid of melee, please use ranged. Please use ranged. Preferably bows.
Look,
but
I've been playing Horizon consistently for 2 months. I think I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm at least good.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
We'll find out. Like, who knows, randomly in the middle of the stream, I just shut it off. It's like, you know what? I'm going to go play Horizon for the rest of this. Horizon's better. There's mechanical ones. I can control them. I can hack those motherfuckers. But yeah. So Monster Hunter Rise tomorrow for major plays. Definitely tune in. Join in on the stream. You definitely hit up the Discord. Again, if you don't have the game, like, hey, if you cool, we cool. We can hop in the voice chat and we just chop it up.
Right.
So that's what we do. But yeah, outside of that, done much, just chilling, just doing the content thing, and yeah. How many shows we got left? Oh, next week's the Thirst Plays. Hooray!
It sure is.
Hooray! So I guess we got to figure that part out too.
Yeah.
I mean, there's also just Monster Hunter though.
Just check off what's on the spreadsheet that we haven't played yet.
Yep.
We should probably extend that then, because I know that was for Holo Plays. So we should probably put more things on here.
Yeah.
I should have marked off Vermintide. We could revisit Borderlands 3 if we really want to, because Sin wasn't here for that.
You mean the game you didn't want to play after?
I will play it again. Look, there are a lot of games on this list that I don't want to play, but I am willing to play, because there's still a simple majority here.
I mean, you literally pulled a page from my book and was uninstalling it after we were finished.
But to be fair, it is still installed on my PC. To be fair, it is still installed.
You were like,
I may have threatened it, but it's still. Oh no! Actually, since the test, I did uninstall it after I did the test this week, because I was trying to remove things off my C drive. That's the only reason why it was installed up until this week. It was installed up until this week. So again, Stardew was fucking installed on my PC. It still is. Like I'm pretty sure like Deep Rock Galactic is still installed somewhere, and like we all agreed we weren't going back to that.
Yeah, we were like, nah, we're good after this. I was really glad that we were able to play that through Game Pass, because there have been many times that I've been wanting to like buy that, and then it's like we played it, and then we were like, whoo, I was like, yo, I am so glad I didn't buy this, because I would have wasted like $15 on a game that I wasn't going to be interested in. And there's been many times when I play games that I've loved and I kind of fallen off, but will come back. But it's many times when I'm like, yeah, I don't want to play this anymore. Like I don't want to play this anymore. And that's why I'm so glad about Game Pass, where it's like, yeah, I might have fallen off of this, but I love it. Or I've fallen off, but I will revisit it or start from scratch at some point, because I do want to play it and finish it. But it was like, no.
Like eventually I will want to get back to Halo Infinite, but
yeah.
Yeah, so that's it for it. That's it for everything. That's it. I'm done.
That's it. That's all the things.
Yeah, it's all the things. We've caught up.
All the things.
So yeah, we'll figure something out for next week. It might be Borderlands. I don't know. Maybe I just called it. I mean, apparently, like I get suggestions and I have to make the call. So maybe I should just call it Borderlands 3. Just so that we Sin can play. We can all do the thing we said we were going to do. And also, it could actually be a better time than it was the first time. Maybe I'll enjoy it more because I'm not looking at a stream like, oh my God, this is all broken.
Yeah, it was like, it was like, oh my God, why are my frames dropping?
And also I'm not sick either, so
right.
Well, I don't know, next week I could be, but let's hope not. Yep, that's it. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of Tech Talk Thursdays for January 19th, 2023. Of course, on behalf of Kev, it's your boy Kev, on behalf of Sinziak, on behalf of the GOATs, Idios and Anka, I have been one of your hosts, Marcus, Major Linux Summers, twitch.tv/Major Linux. And all I've got left to say, wait, one more thing. You all could have been anywhere in the world watching any stream in the world. You could have been reading the tech, gaming, and streaming news yourself, but you said no. ChatGPT gave me 50 million other reasons as to why I should watch your stream. So I did. Without any sources. It probably stole 50 million other people's tweets to suggest your show out of everybody else's and didn't credit them for the tweets. And for that, I'm okay. For that type of plagiarism, I'm all right with that because it led you here. And all I've got left to say to you is I love you. Peace.
Wakanda forever.